welcome back to Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry and this is Finish It Friday, where we talk about what I finished this week and what you finished. So lots of activity here in the she shed this week. Lots. Not only did I get everything done on my list up through Thursday, a few other things have taken place as well. So let me just go ahead and start talking about some of the things that I have accomplished this week. Of course, you saw the Wednesday video probably already. If you haven't, go check that out. There's a tutorial on how to make this border for the National Park panel. This is the Smoky Mountains one that I did, and I just kind of went over with you how easy and simple it is to make these mountain-like blocks using some giant half-square triangles. So check that video out if you haven't, and maybe you can use that idea on one of your panels. I love how it turned out, and I can't wait to quilt this up and bind it and hang it in our travel trailer on our RV. So I have one big wall in the bedroom of the camper, and it will fit perfectly there. And I just think it just kind of fits with the theme of everything to do with camping. So I'm going to do that with that and keep that for myself. I also got back from the Long Armor 2 quilts. I'm not going to show you those right now. I know. I was kind of promising you maybe I would show one at least if I had it bound. I do not have them both bound. I have them trimmed. And yeah, I'm thinking about making a separate video for these quilts. Maybe this one and the red and white, so you can get a good look at it a little bit better than when I first showed you that one. Just kind of show all three of these quilts together once I get them bound. Won't take long to bind them because I do my machine binding that I do. So you might just have a little bonus video, or you might have something the first Wednesday in October to watch. I'm not sure. We'll just see. Hate to make you wait that long, but that's just the way it has to be. Monday, I mentioned our stash busting project with a charm pack and another color from your stash. Another 3/4 yard piece to go with one charm pack makes a very cute and perfect size baby blanket. So my goal that I put out there for us was to make 4 of these. 3 or 4? What did I say? I think I said 4. Well, with that in mind, not only did I get that one stitched up right quick, I also have one ready to go. So I have a peach fabric this time. This is an art gallery fabric. I don't remember the name of it. And this is this charm pack here is called Sincerely Yours, and it's all sorts of little peach and pink prints in there, polka dots, cross hatches, daisies. This will make it little more of a feminine one, I guess. This one could go either way, but yeah, I'm gonna make that. And I'll try to make a couple more. May not be all during September, but we'll just keep going on our stash busting projects. Some of you mentioned in the comments that you would like to see those continue throughout the rest of the year. So I may be doing that. So I think it's a good idea. How are you doing with your Stashtember fabric fast? Well, I've seen a few things that have tempted me, but nothing strongly enough to break my fast. So I'm doing okay here in Stashtember by not buying. And I'm going to try to do better throughout the rest of the year as well, to not just kind of impulsively buy things because they're pretty, but rather look at things that I know that I really, really want and want to work with and have ideas for. So hopefully we can develop some good habits and not just buy things, you know. So the economy is terrible, and we all are paying premium prices for everything we pick up anywhere, food, gas, whatever it may be. Everything is double what it used to be. So we need to not spend needlessly on fabric when we already have huge stashes. Now if you're stash building and you need to build your stash, you knock yourself out, but there's a lot of us out there like myself. We need to put ourselves on a fabric diet. All right. Also this week I promised myself in my planner that I was going to get going on this. I did get going on it somewhat. I started and I got one of the, let's see, how does this go? Probably doesn't really matter how they're turned, but just want to show you how. Okay, so down and sideways. Yeah, this is the one block. There will be a whole bunch of these out of different colors. In this color too. So there's a bunch of those, and then there's also a star block that's gray. And then so I have chain pieced a whole bunch of these already. So I spent like an hour or so on this. I really felt like keeping going on it, but I was trying to make sure I balanced my time out between projects in such a way that I could get something done on all of them. If you're not familiar with this project, it is Harvest Square Dance, available from Annie's catalog, or Annie's Quilt Designs, whatever you want to call it, anniescraftstore.com. There's a link in the description box for my Annie's link if you want to go in there and buy anything. Also this week, Pat Sloan started her new Block Wednesday. We haven't had one for a while, so that came out this Wednesday. And of course, I've mentioned many times, it's the Autumn Wonders. This is the layout. This is the first block, and you need to go to her website to get these patterns. They're free, and this whole sew along is free. So go over to ilovetomakequilts.com and download those patterns on your device, or print them off. I like to print them off, just, you know, I don't know, I just do. So this one is called Pull Out the Cozy Clothing. And this is the first block that I made. And then this is the fabric line I'm using is Riley Blake Elegance, and I have an ample fat quarter bundle here that I'm using for that. This could go any time of year really, but I kind of like the colors for fall, and I think it'll make a really pretty quilt. This is the background in the same line. I may have to get some more of this. I don't think I have quite enough. We'll see. I'll be very judicious with my fabric and see if I can get it to work out. So that is underway. She has a block each Wednesday for a total of 9, and then with the layout instructions, you'll have a quilt completed in 10 weeks, I guess. So I like to do those, and the blocks usually aren't very difficult. Also, if you have directional fabric in these half square triangles, you can cut one pair vertical and one pair horizontal, and then that way they'll all be standing up right when you go to sew them together, if you pay attention. If that bothers you. Sometimes it bothers you. If I know Pat Sloan was bothered by it when her directional fabrics go this way and then they go this way, but you can mitigate that by being careful when you do your half square triangles. So that is the first one. Again, that's called Pull Out the Cozy Clothing. You will be happy to know that I did spend at least an hour on Happy Days. Yay! I probably spent a little more than an hour, but once I got down to the hour mark, I was getting awfully close to being done with this. So this is complete. I changed the design a little bit because there's supposed to be two of these little petals here, the little ones. Supposed to be 2 on one side and 1 on the other. But it didn't turn out that way on mine. So I just put 1 on each side, and then I put the extra one just out from the heart. And honestly, I like my design better. That's happened a couple of times lately, hasn't it? Anyway, I'm just so happy that that's done. I was looking, and I have, for Happy Days, I have two more mailings that I have not touched, and then I got the notification for the third one. So whew, those 2 weeks of not doing anything didn't help me any, but it's okay. We're just gonna be calm on that. Let's see what else. Oh, the bird watching. I got some more fabric in from you guys. Here's one, turned out cute. Pink background with little gray birds, look like chickadees. And then this one, pink multifloral, and it also has some rabbits in it, as well as some birds. That's wrong. I just noticed that. That is wrong. That needs to be turned. I had to fix that. I did that really late one night. I'll fix that, no problem. I have some more fabric in too. I have it cut, but I haven't got the blocks done yet. I'll show them to you when I get them done. So I won't put that back up on the wall. That'll bug you the whole time, won't it? Probably has been. It happens. It happens to me. It happens to you. Don't worry about it. Okay, so what do we have left? I was hoping to get the So Yeah subscription box block done up too, but you know, there's only so many hours in the day. It's only humanly possible to do what a human can do in a certain amount of time, but that's all laying there. I'll get to that and show it to you next week. So let's get to your all's stuff that you finished. Got a few things to show you here. Alright, the first one is from Andrea, and she says it's a combination work that my daughter Amelia and I started back in July at a quilt retreat. It required one jelly roll, a June Taylor Quilter to Go placemat set, and approximately 1.5 yards of backing material and 3/4 of a yard of binding material. All of this was found in my stash. Good going. Nothing was bought, so it fits right into Stashtember as well as National Jelly Roll Week. Great! You killed 2 birds with 1 stone there. She says she did, the daughter, all the placement of the fabrics and decision of how the jelly roll would lay. And then you, Andrea, did the binding, but together they completed the project for her a new apartment. So congratulations on your daughter for getting her new apartment, and I love your jelly roll placemats. Very cute, nice line of fabric there. Did a great job. It's wonderful that you have your daughter to sew with, and that you guys can grow and learn together in your quilting journey. Very beautiful. The next one is from Deborah. She says, this was inspired by a quilt I saw online and told myself I can do this. So I did. Not perfect, but it is a completed top. I used 2 jelly rolls, and it was the first time cutting columns on the diagonal from strip sets. Fabric was Maywood Studios Saguaro and Robert Kaufman Kona Solids Aurora palette. Very pretty, and yes, a lot of times we can look at inspiration on Pinterest or other quilting sites and see that we can actually, do it without purchasing a pattern. And I love how you did the ombre effect in and out of the purples and greens there. You did a great job on that. Very, very good. Letha has a very interesting story and heartwarming. And she says this is her finished quilt top for her first grandbaby coming soon. Congratulations, Letha. She says there's a story that goes with this quilt. My youngest daughter was to be born in the spring of '97. So in the fall, while I was pregnant with her, my mom and I designed this quilt and started making it for her. On Thanksgiving Day, while spending time with family, she decided she needed to come into the world super early. I was rushed to the hospital, and they were able to slow things down and keep her in, but that meant complete bed rest for me. I spent all winter in and out of the hospital trying to stay pregnant. They were hoping I could make it to New Year's, because at that point she might survive with the 3-month plus NICU stay, maybe. On January 2nd, she decided she was going to come, and I was back in the hospital, but luckily they were able to stop things again, so no New Year's baby. We made it through January, but in the wee hours of the morning of February 9th, my water broke and she was coming one way or another. Still 6 weeks early, she made her way to the world, but was stillborn. They worked hard on her and brought her back, and though her first year was touch and go, she made it. Unfortunately, the quilt was set aside and then packed away and forgotten, but not really. Well, that sweet daughter of mine is having her first baby due the 10th of January, but most likely will be born closer to Christmas or maybe New Year's if they can keep him in long enough. She is struggling as I did, so prayers needed for a healthy baby and mama. I will embroider his name in the applique honey pot in the center square where her name had originally been planned. I switched out the pink and purple borders for green and blue, but the design is the same, and I still have the scratch paper we drew it out on to give to her for his memory book. I am one worried yet excited grandma. I bet you are. That sweet baby's going to be just fine. And this is precious, now probably known as almost vintage fabric with Winnie the Pooh there. So cute. And I love the story behind it, and I wish you and your family all the best for a healthy, happy baby and family. Joy, she says, my grandson's graduation quilt continued. Okay, so we've seen this before. The back is pieced and binding is same materials as the quilt. Several turtles are appliqued throughout. Rex loves the ocean, is a semi-pro surfer, and was a junior lifeguard. He's been cooking since he was 6 years old. He's been working as a chef for a caterer for the past few years. He's going to be a cook in the Coast Guard. I need to get this in the mail for him before he ships out. So we have some nice pictures here of this string type quilt that she made in those beautiful batiks in ocean colors, so appropriate for a Coast Guard themed quilt, and the turtles on there as well. Very pretty. There's a close-up of the turtles there. There it is again, another set of turtles, and you see the backing there matches the front. And I have one more picture. There's another whole picture. Very cute with the little turtles on there. I love it. Great job. Pat, you're a girl after my own heart. Look at her notebook covers. She says, I love making these. I've been using some leftover blocks and scraps and a few buttons. Some unusual ribbons have shown up. See's Candy and Hershey's, to name a few. I've also added light batting and free motion quilting, a good way to practice stitching. Keep up the enjoyable videos. Pat from Washington State. I love your creativity with your composition notebook covers. You've used crumb quilting, you've used orphan blocks, rick-rack, word fabric strategically placed, hexagons, and as you said, the See's Candy. Some of them are super coordinated, some of them are just scrappy. I love this. This is what I intended for the composition book covers to be like. Unfortunately, I didn't lead by example and do anything more creative like Pat did. So thank you, Pat, for sharing your wonderful ideas, and the rest of us who need to finish our notebook covers, our 10 notebook covers. Here's some ideas for us. Great job. Anja. She has two things here. She says, I finished my jelly roll top. I'm so in love with it. It's from Cafe, and I had it for quite some time and was scared to cut it, but I did. I think I will finish it with a minky back. Yes, it is Stashtember, so it will have to wait. So gotta buy some minky, huh? The other one is a little present for someone who loves to do triathlons. And you see that there? It looks like a little, like I've done some things on little canvases. You just spread your fabric or your panel on there, and it's wall art. So you can see the swimmer, the runner, and the cyclist there on that triathlon themed wall hanging. Perfect. I love your Cafe your string or your jelly roll quilt there. That's gorgeous. That would look good with a faced binding, and I want to do a tutorial soon, or at least a small clip somewhere, of how to face a quilt. Something I saw on Instagram that looks super easy, and I'm dying to try, and I want to show you too. So that would look good with your quilt. Okay, we have one from Sun Painted Carol. She says, your series on panel quilts have prompted me to show you a quilt I made a few years back. The panels were 2 Leah Day Batik medallion panels, one in green, one in blue. I named it Bohemian Blues because for some reason it reminds me of the 60s. Yeah, I can see that. It ended up queen size and it was made without a pattern. I'm currently working on a panel quilt because you've inspired me with your videos. It will be perfect for fall. She'll have it for next week, she thinks. So, yeah, great job here. And yes, there again is an example of a pattern that you can copy without having a pattern. So, great job, Carol. I love it. And blues and greens are my favorite. Mary, my long armor Mary, she did the Twisted Spiral Heart FPP project, and she recently finished 2 mug rugs that she made for a newly married couple. How appropriate, right, for a newly married couple? 2 heart mug rugs. So she carefully staged it here with all of the buttons, and it just turned out really cute. Love your binding. And they will love those for many years to come, no doubt. Great job, Mary. Thank you for your participation in that, even though FPP is not something that you think you will be doing a lot of in the future. I understand. I was there once too, but I was encouraging Mary to keep up on the FPP. We'll see what she does. Susan, I couldn't find yesterday's post. I hope all is well with you, and I'm hoping it's not Mark's mother. Oh, okay. This was, I'm not sure why you didn't see it, Susan, but everything's out there now. This was a Jelly Roll Day quilt that she made. And there we have our lovely blues and greens again. There again, that's a pattern that you could copy without having a pattern. Just kind of make up how long you want those strips to be. Turned out great, easy. I did a table runner like that one time, where you offset the strips and just put another solid color on the outer where you have your white. So very good. I'm so happy you got your quilt done for Jelly Roll Day. And that looks like all we have for this week. So thank you so much for participating in Finish It Friday. Everyone always loves to see everyone else's quilts. And if you check out the comments after these videos, you'll see that sometimes your quilt gets a compliment. So read the comments, go back and watch it a couple times, and you'll get the full meat of Finish It Friday. So I hope you have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Getting out some more sewing projects to do, working on my current ones, and finishing up on pillowcases and composition notebooks and these little baby quilts. Got plenty to do, and it's all coming from our stash. I'll see you back here on Monday for Monday Quilt Chat for another stash busting idea, and also Wednesday for our 4th and final panel idea, and then back here again on Finish It Friday. So have a great weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.